if I want to describe this line, not a very straight line, but that's my attempt. If I want to describe that line using surveyors, I'm going to notice that there's a length to the line, and there's some sort of a direction that the line is going. Right there. And so in AutoCAD, there's a very specific way of entering this so that AutoCAD knows what you mean and it draws the line properly. The first thing that we have to know is that the standard AutoCAD direction is north, south. Okay? And that the secondary direction is east and west. And that's supposed to be at the very beginning of that line. So you need to know your compass, north, south, east, west. And now I can go, okay, this thing has some sort of a length. And it's got a direction that I can measure from my north line. And I'll talk about other ones in a little bit. Okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to know this length. I'm going to pretend that this has a length of 10. It's 10 from here to here. It's 10 long. So that's my length. And I'm going to say it's 10. I don't know what it is. It depends on the units that I've put into AutoCAD. 10 feet. And that there's some sort of an angle right here. Now, we always measure the angle from the north or the south line. Okay? So I don't measure it from the east in surveyor's units. I always measure from the north or the south line. So this has an angle here. Okay? And I look at that and I'm going to guess it's somewhere around 60 degree. Sorry, this is 30 degrees. I better erase that. I didn't do a very good job. It's about 30 degrees. Okay, so I could describe this line as being 10 long and 30 degrees to the east side of north. Sort of like pirates. Arr, get yourself started at the origin and face yourself north and turn 30 degrees to the east and then walk 10 feet. Okay, but basically it's a length, your starting direction, and then how far you turn, and then which direction you've turned. So if I wanted to write that, I would write it as from where I'm at, 10 feet. I don't need the foot symbol necessarily if my units are decimal feet. Then I use that angle symbol. Then I have to say I'm starting out facing north, and then I'm going 30 D for degrees, and I'm turning east. That's how I would write that. From where I'm at, 10, and an angle, 30 degrees to the east. Start facing north, 30 degrees to the east. So now if I had another line going this way, this angle again is 30 degrees, but I start facing north and I go to the west. So this one I would type as, oops, got the wrong thing there. I would type it as from where I'm at, 10, although it looks longer than 10, doesn't it? I'll pretend it's 15 at an angle, and I start facing north, and I go 30 degrees, but I turn to the west. I angle it to the west. So that's 15 long. I'll write that down. It's 15 long. So now if I had another one down below here, that one I'm going to say is maybe 5 long. And here you can see, I'm going to say I start going south, and there's my angle. Right there. I'm measuring it from the south is my angle. And that sort of looks like 45 degrees, so I'm going to say it's 45 degrees. So I know how to write that one now. I'm going to write it as from where I'm at, where I start, and it's 5 feet at an angle. This time I'm starting to the south, 3 degrees, sorry, south, 45 degrees to the east. What happened there? Oh, there it goes. And look, I left something off here. I left the D out. I have to put my D in there so that it knows it was degrees, 30 degrees. South, 45 degrees east. And then, of course, my last one that I could do if I felt like it is kind of like this way. And I'm going to make it go like that. And again, I'm going to measure off of my south because it's closest to the south. But that looks like it's like 85 degrees. That angle looks a lot more. And it looks like I'm about 15 long again. So if I were to write this one, I'd say from where I'm at, 15 at an angle south, 85 degrees, turning to the west. Now, if I want to go straight west and I want to write it down and I want to have it in there that way, I could always just draw it. But if I wanted to, I could go north 90 degrees west or south 90 degrees west. Remember, there's in a perfect cross, that's 90 degrees. And we usually write it with this little square thing to say that it's square. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and 90 degrees. And that way we know that an entire circle is 4 times 90 equals 360. Okay? Just remember, we always start north or south, and then we move through some angle to east or west.